Logan Smith runs the Twitter account Yes, You're Racist. He started posting photos of protesters on his Twitter feed. His followers more than quadrupled over the weekend. They also helped put names to faces. And Logan Smith joins me now from Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you for joining us today. So why did you think it was important to expose the identities of the people who were attending that march over the weekend?
Well, Arthur, as you just mentioned, these people aren't afraid anymore. They're not hiding behind their hoods anymore. And I think that if they are so proud of their white supremacist beliefs, if they're proud to carry their tiki torches out there and, just stand shoulder to shoulder with white supremacists and KKK members, then I think that that the public deserves to know who these people are, and that is why I decided to start, exposing these people.
Now, certainly, though, there have been some consequences to the actions that, for example, your Twitter account and the information that it's mined has garnered some consequences. One individual, for example, Cole White, was actually fired as a result of your page identifying him. So do you think that that's the right course of action to take? Is that what you had hoped to see?
Well, I'm not out here, calling the employers of any of these people. I'm certainly not suggesting that anyone go, to their houses or try to confront them, anything like that. But, I do think that if you run a business and you see one of your employees at a white nationalist rally, then it's certainly your prerogative if you want to keep that person on staff.
And in terms of education versus punishment, part of what you're doing is providing awareness. These are the people who were marching. But some might say that those attending the march need to be educated, not necessarily punished. So how do you respond to that?
Well, they certainly need some education. But I think that, by this backlash, I think that it will encourage some of these people to stop and think, do I really want to be known, as this white supremacist? Is this what I want to be associated with? And take a look in the mirror and really, examine that for themselves.
And we do also want to turn to the reaction from the U.S. president as well and how you're responding to that. So what do you make of the way that he's handled this situation so far?
Well, it's far too little, far too late. In fact, the neo-Nazi website Stormfront loved President Trump's first response. They loved the fact that he didn't specifically call out the white supremacists. So I think that their reaction should speak for itself. When neo-Nazis like something that the president is doing, then I think I think the rest of us should take pause.
And finally, also, we want to touch on sort of the backlash against you and your family, too. Certainly, we've read that and spoken to you that you've received death threats as a result of this. So what are you experiencing right now?
Well, they've been making threatening calls and messages, threatening, me, my family, even my extended family. But it's important to note that these types of intimidation tactics, this is how these people operate. It's how they've operated since the days of the KKK burning crosses in people's yards. And, by giving in to those intimidation tactics, by, remaining silent in the face of bigotry, that's what they depend on. That's how they win. And I'm refusing to let that happen.
So by that statement, I suppose, is it fair to assume that you intend to carry on despite the fact that there have been threats like this?
That's right. I'm not going away anytime soon. I think all people, white people especially, have a responsibility to stand up against bigotry whenever they encounter it, because, bigotry thrives on silence. It requires people to, remain silent and allow these people to, take over our society. And if we all unite and join together and say, this is not who we are a society founded on liberty and justice for all, then, we will, stop them from taking over our society.
Well, thank you for providing your perspective today, Logan. Logan Smith is in Raleigh, North Carolina. He runs the Twitter account, Yes, You're Racist.